It's a beautiful day today and we're reading some more Am I the A-hole? It's so weird to not have any Superflight gameplay in the background. I'm experimenting in this episode, so let me know down below if you want the gameplay or you don't want the gameplay. I do like this cute background though, it gives a good vibe to the episode. So yeah, let me know down below which you prefer and let's get into it. Enjoy guys. Am I the a-hole for banning my parents from a family event because they don't like my brother's wife? So my 30 female little brother is 23. I do have another brother that's 20, but this one is about the 23-year-old, who I'll call Blake. A few months ago, Blake eloped with his girlfriend Shay, 19 female. Our parents and my three sisters, Mary 22 female, B 27 female, and Sarah 25 female, were livid, like unusually angry. I was a little confused too, but I spoke to him and it did seem to me like he and his girlfriend loved each other very much and just made the rash decision to elope in Vegas. We live about 3 hours away from Vegas, so it is a popular day trip destination. So yeah, they were there for the day and they eloped. Yeah, it was a little silly, but I don't understand why they're so angry about it. Blake and Shay didn't even tell anybody about their marriage until 2 months after. Blake and Shay are very wholesome and, dare I say, a perfect couple. They love each other and they live together and they split the bills. They both study very good degrees and they have 2 cats. I've always said that you can't put a timeline on life, and if they do want to get married earlier than usual, who cares? My parents have made a point to not invite Shay to any family events since. They'll call up Blake and say, don't bring your girlfriend. They refuse to even acknowledge the marriage. Blake came the first 2 times they did this, but left very early, and he's always politely declined all invitations since then. I've tried to tell my parents that they're pushing Blake away and soon they can expect to never hear from him again, but they don't seem to care. They take every opportunity to insult Shay, even though they used to love her before the elopement. It's my son's birthday soon and I'm planning a big party. I sent the guest list in a family group chat and my parents saw that Shay was invited. They demanded that she's taken off, but I refused. They were acting in a way that made me suspect they were going to make a scene there, so I banned them. I don't want them to isolate my younger brother, and he hasn't been to any family events since he got married besides the 2 that he left early. They're infuriated. They're threatening to show up anyway and think I have no right to ban them for somebody who isn't part of the family. My sisters and younger brother think I'm overreacting, and I could have instead warned them to behave and told them they'd be removed if they couldn't do so. They think the ban is nuclear. My parents are demanding an invite and an apology. Am I the a-hole? Oh no, I don't think so, OP. The way they're treating Shay and Blake is awful. And if anybody should be apologizing, it's your parents, OP. You don't need to apologize for anything, and they do have behavior that they need to apologize for. Ew, that's so gross. I feel so sorry for Blake and Shay. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Your parents didn't get the memo that children grow up. They deserve to be banned, and they should stay banned until they apologize and learn how to behave. It's easy for your other siblings to say that you overreacted because it's not their situation. I'm sure your brother would appreciate the support. And OP said, I currently am the only one who has kids, so my parents will be pretty upset if I ban them from seeing their only grandkids. My brother definitely appreciates my support in his own way. He's usually very quiet and not that expressive, besides when he's with Shay. And he randomly texted me the other day to say that he wishes he invited me to the elopement. It was touching. Yeah, you're not the a-hole, OP. Parents can be so wrong sometimes, and this is such a good example of that. Yeah, and this comment too. Not the a-hole. Honestly, if I was your brother, I'd make a certified copy of the marriage certificate, laminate it, and send it to your parents. Refusing to acknowledge the marriage? Who do they think they are? Yeah, the bloody audacity of the parents. I hope Blake and Shay are okay. That's so sad. But yeah, do not apologize to them, OP. Ban them until they apologize. Am I the a-hole for telling my whole family that my sister anonymously posts S-word shaming comments on my Instagram pictures? I, 25 female, post a lot on Instagram. I get some S-word shaming comments here and there, but I always brush them off as trolls are bitter people. I was at a large family gathering Saturday night. My cousin, 16 female, and my sister, 28 female, were looking at Instagram on their phones. My cousin noticed that my sister has multiple accounts and she has a drop-down menu button next to her username at the top. She clicked on it and asked my sister what's the alternate account username for. My sister looked flustered and said that her friend set that up on her phone for some reason. That username set off alarm bells. I went to one of my Instagram posts to check the comments and my suspicion was confirmed. That account wrote so many S-word shaming comments on nearly every single one of my pictures. Here are a few examples of the comments. F you S-word. Ew, plastic everywhere. Water balloons on an emaciated girl, lol. I'm sad and surprised about this because my sister has been nothing but supportive and complimented me all the time. I looked at my sister and she was looking really tense. She didn't make any eye contact with me for several minutes. I was debating whether to out it in front of everybody or have a private conversation. I chose the latter. I asked her if I could see her outside. She said that she had to use the restroom right that moment. I'm sure that she was either going to go in there and delete those comments or that alternate account. So I resorted to outing her while there was still evidence. I asked her loudly why she wrote so many mean comments on my Instagram post. She was hesitating big time and said that her friend must have commented with that account? I seriously doubt it. I showed everybody some comments that she wrote. I asked my cousin to confirm if that was the username she saw on my sister's phone. She confirmed. Everybody was enthralled in the drama. My mum asked my sister to tell the truth, but my sister maintained her claim. I asked everybody who they thought really made those comments. About half the people agreed that the evidence was pointing to my sister being guilty. The other half was silent. My sister called us all morons, stormed out of the door, and then drove away. This was the main topic for the rest of the night. Everybody consoled me. It's been over a day and we still haven't heard anything from my sister. I didn't try to reach out. Mum and Dad both tried to reach her, but to no avail. I think I might even cut her out of my life if I don't get a sincere apology. Wow, okay. No, I don't feel like you're the a-hole, OP. And how old did you say your sister was? 28? Like, come on. 28 and they're doing stuff like that? Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. She's 28 years old. Her behavior seems like she's still in high school. The top comment says, you put it all out there, you showed the evidence, and you let the chips fall where they may. Not the a-hole. Your sister's reaction? Well, let's say it speaks volumes. Her denial and dramatic exit suggest that she is feeling the hate, and now she's gone MIA over something she claims that she didn't do. Please, nobody is believing her. I hope your family takes your side. Yeah, and the comment under that one. Not the a-hole. You tried to deal with it privately, but she wouldn't engage, and it did need challenging. And to be honest, without a public apology, because what she did was public, and an explanation, I think you would be right to go no contact. Yeah, that's wild, OP. And to be coming from your 28-year-old sister, you would never have expected that. And you even said yourself that she would compliment you a lot and stuff, but then anonymously say awful stuff to you on Instagram. Like, yeah, she messed around and she found out. She probably wrote all of the comments you were talking about. Like, as soon as she said that at the beginning, I get some S-word shaming comments here and there, but I always brush them off as trolls or bitter people. Like, are they that common? Or did your sister write pretty much all of them? Like they said, she had multiple different accounts. Yeah, that sucks, OP. You're not the a-hole. Post number 3. The next one is called, am I the a-hole for not telling my brother about our mum's death because he didn't answer the phone? I, 32 female, have a brother Max, 34 male, and 3 other siblings. His partner Anne is obsessed with boundaries, but she never sets them until they've apparently been broken. A big gripe was that mum called Max too much, 2 to 3 times a week. Max never mentioned an issue to mum, but he let Anne attack a character hugely during one of her calling out sessions. A few weeks later, before they went on a trip, he messaged the group chat. It was clearly written by her, saying they didn't want to hear from us that week, and that we'd be blocked if we disturbed them. It was a long and nasty message, clearly dictated at mum. She was upset, but asked to keep the peace because Anne was intimidated last time we pushed back at her. 2 days after they left, mum died unexpectedly. Oh, OP, I'm so sorry. Dad called me at 8:30, and 45 minutes later, I tried to call Max for the first time. I then sent a text saying, answer your phone, it's urgent, and then called again. I sent 2 more messages, and I called 4 more times that day. The next time I tried was the day before the funeral. I sent him a text saying that he must know that it's serious and I need him to call me. On the day, I called 6 hours before so he'd have time to come back, then again an hour before. In total, I called 16 times. My sister tried 7 and my dad 3. When they got back, he, in brackets she, sent an essay to the group chat about how we're bullies taunting them and trying to ruin their relationship and that we will never see either of them again. My youngest brother, 20 male, responded, Mum died on Sunday. Consider your wish granted, you evil C words, and booted him from the chat. Max then rang me 22 times in a row. I sat and I watched them all ring out. We siblings headed straight to the house because we knew that he'd turn up there. My youngest brother, 20 male, who still lives at home, was by far the angriest about the situation, so we didn't want to tempt fate. They showed up furious. Nowhere near as furious as we were though. The long story short is that none of us, except one sister, the recent I'm posting, have seen or spoken to him since. Dad made it clear that he lost both his wife and a son that day. Oh God. My position is that it was obvious the situation was urgent, that I and we made more than enough effort, and the outcome is all on him. This all happened in December, but Dad recently cleared out Max's stuff from the spare room and gave it to his BFF to pass on. Now Max is reaching out wanting apologies for him and Dan, but ultimately to get back into the family. One sister is in contact with him and is applying pressure to the rest of us. She started to become judgmental about not telling him, but we have reminded her that she owns a phone and she could also have done so at any time. I'm still very angry with him, and I'm leaning towards no longer inviting her to our weekly dinners. A big deal to us, especially now. Am I the a-hole for not telling him mum died, cutting him off and considering doing the same to my sister? Edit, it's become clear that only giving Max and Anne names was a mistake. I appreciate it's confusing as there are 5 siblings in play. Let's go for Sarah, the wannabe peacemaker, female 35, Max 34 male, me 32 female, Laura, in brackets accused of incestuous feelings, 22 female, and Clint, because C word, 20 male. Also, thank you to everybody who has shared kind words. The support is truly appreciated. Whoa, okay. First of all, I'm so sorry for your loss, OP. Yeah, no, I don't see how you're the a-hole, OP. You tried so hard, you said it was urgent. You wanted to tell him over the phone, like it isn't something you want to just text to somebody. And yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. Your brother and his wife wife obviously thought they were proving a point by ignoring all of your contact. They should be mortified that their stubbornness blew up in their faces. Instead of being first angry and now being so psychotic they expect an apology. Yeah, in your shoes I would cut off my brother, both to support my father and because it's obvious it's never going to be a good relationship with who he chose to marry. Your sister will determine whether she deserves your future attention by how she continues to act. Yeah, and this comment too, not the a-hole, it's urgent, followed by numerous calls, is an obvious sign that something is wrong. He should have called back to see what was up. This was a phone call conversation, not text information. The only ones in the wrong are Max and Dan. Yeah, that's so sad. And the audacity that they're trying to get an apology out of you. Yeah, I like this comment too. Now Max is reaching out wanting apologies for him and Dan, but ultimately to get back into the family. Has he no shame at all? They should be begging for your forgiveness, not the other way around. Having boundaries is one thing, but ignoring repeated phone calls and please pick up, it's urgent messages from your family is plainly stating that you don't care about them. Max and Dan can enjoy their lovely family-free life together, since they obviously don't care about being a part of yours, not the yay-hole. Post number 4 is called Am I the yay-hole for saying that not everything is about your kid? I was having a small birthday party for my son. We decided on his favorite pizza place. Both my sister-in-law and daughter are vegetarian, and I asked them both what kind of pizza they wanted, and they both chose a garden pizza with all veggies. We also had pepperoni and a meat lovers, cheesy garlic bread, wings, and an Italian salad. Lots of food for dinner, plus the cake and ice cream later. My bother comes with his new girlfriend and her son. I've never met this boy. I was an extremely busy mum with my 3 kids and 4 other cousins. The girlfriend asked what the cheese pizza is, and I told her we don't have cheese. She started in on my brother about how could you not tell your family my child only likes cheese pizza, and says something about it's because of his autism. I said we have cheesy garlic bread, but the boy didn't like that either. Then I suggested he could have an extra large piece of cake. It was white and it had sprinkles. Her kid only liked chocolate cake. Around this time, my son and his other cousin started arguing about Fortnite and the new update. Wow, okay. And my son decided he wanted the Airbender Battle Pass, and I'm sidetracked with that and logging the cousin into my daughter's Switch. The girlfriend asked me to order a cheese pizza for her son so he could have something to eat. I snapped back and said, not everything is about your kid. I was then distracted by my daughter yelling at her cousin because she didn't want him playing her Switch with gross chicken grease hands. I went to defuse that. Afterwards, when it came to cake and ice cream time, I noticed my brother, his girlfriend, and her son left. I get a long text from my brother about how could I bully a child and his mother, and what an awful example I'm setting for my kids. I don't feel like I was out of line, and she was a rude guest, and now my brother and I aren't talking. So why did the girlfriend expect you to do the pizza? If they wanted a cheese pizza, they should have ordered the cheese pizza. Why is that responsibility being put onto you? Yeah, the top comment. She started in on my brother about how could you not tell your family my child only likes cheese pizza. Solution, order a cheese pizza. Not tricky. The girlfriend asked me to order a cheese pizza for her son. Oh, she knew the answer but expected you to do it. I snapped back with not everything is about your kid, how I could bully a child and his mother. That's not really bullying, it's the words of a frazzled mother doing too much when the person complaining could have solved the issue on their own, not the yay-hole. Yeah, she or your brother could have ordered the pizza. I feel like it's their responsibility to be prepared for something like this. Wow, these comments. Info, did you tell your brother it was okay for him to bring his girlfriend and her son? If they were just tag-along guests, I can see your point, but if they were more specifically invited, I can see why they would think you would be more accommodating. And OP said, I never invited them, but my brother asked if they could come because other kids were there. I had no clue about the cheese pizza issue beforehand. This comment, party chaos, pizza, cake, and the Fortnite peace negotiations. But yeah, I don't feel like you're the yay-hole OP. The responsibility was on your brother and his girlfriend. They should never have been acting so entitled. The next one is called Am I the yay-hole for telling my friend that she doesn't get to have an opinion about my cooking because she's poor? My best friend Layla, 29 female, and her partner Ryan, 40 male, were over for dinner this evening. I enjoy cooking, and tonight was a seafood pasta with garlic bread and a veggie side dish. Having Layla and Ryan over for dinner is a semi-frequent occurrence, but they don't typically contribute anything to our meals. The reasoning is 1, they struggle financially, and 2, neither of them are very good at cooking. If they do bring something, it's usually drinks or a store-bought side dish, like potato salad or macaroni salad or chips, etc. But that is rare. This has not really ever bothered me because hanging out with them is always a good time, and I am understanding of their financial situation and preference for not cooking. My partner and I live very comfortably and can afford to feed guests for dinner every so often, so it really has never been an issue until tonight. I usually like to cut shrimp in half when I'm incorporating it into a pasta because I feel it mixes in better that way. It's only a personal preference. I don't claim to be a master chef. I like cooking and that's how I've always done it. Layla started getting on my case about not serving whole shrimp with the pasta. It started out as light-hearted banter but quickly became very annoying. Some of her comments included, feeling stingy tonight, huh? I hope I don't get hungry again later. I've never seen pasta served with cut shrimp before. I eventually got fed up and I said something along the lines of, interesting take considering that I know you've never cooked shrimp ever in your life and probably can't afford it either. You don't work. Ryan doesn't have a real job? You guys come over here for free food and complain about it? Nah, I'm done. It was word vomit, followed by a very awkward silence. They left shortly after. I texted Layla an hour later and I apologized for what I said. She apologized as well, but I'm still mad. I'm starting to feel like they're freeloaders and it feels icky knowing that they're coming over here and eating well pretty often, and my partner and I never get anything in return. I know that we're in different financial situations, but there are ways to make an effort without spending lots of money. Layla suggested we do dinner again next week, assuming we were all good after we both apologized. I responded and basically said, I'll pass on that. She hit me back with, so are we too poor for you now? And I just said, yep. It's obviously not entirely that, but the whole thing left a bad taste in my mouth and now I don't even want to talk to her. My partner thinks I'm being harsh, but I don't know. I feel used and I don't like it. Right, okay, so this one is marked as everybody sucks. Yeah, I don't feel like you handled it well, OP. They were talking about the shrimp in the pasta, and what did you say? That they probably can't afford it and that you don't work, Ryan doesn't even have a real job, and you guys come over here for free food and complain about it. And then yeah, at the end where they said, so are we too poor for you now? And you said, yeah? That's way harsher than what they said. Like, yeah, they definitely shouldn't have said what they said either. Like, they are sort of annoying comments, but what you said isn't good either. The top comment says, everybody sucks here. You're not wrong for getting mad at them being critical of the food you're making, but you messed up by making it all about them being poor in your response. It's better to go with something like, well, feel free not to eat it then. Yeah, you made it super harsh and personal for no reason, OP. Yeah, and this comment, everybody sucks here. She made obnoxious comments about your cooking, but you attacked her financial situation. You can't even afford shrimp. Frankly, I think you're the worst one. You didn't even call her out for being impolite about her comments. You just went, F you, you're poor. You're both better off without each other. Post number 6. Am I the a-hole for refusing to uproot my life and move back in with my parents? So, I, 31 male, moved out of my parents' home when I was 19. I have lived on my own and with different roommates for the past 12-ish years. My current problem is that my parents want me to move back home. They need my help both financially, to which I've already been sending them money whenever I can, and to help take care of them. They had me late in the game. They're both in their early 70s. I do have 4 older siblings, but because I'm the only one of us 5 that doesn't have kids, they expect me to drop my life and move 2 states away so that I can move back in with them. On my own dime too. I told them no, that I wouldn't do it. I don't have the best relationship with my mum, while my father is basically a teddy bear. My mum spent most of my life telling me how much I ruined her plans, how I wasn't supposed to happen, had a fit every time she had to spend money on me, while at the same time never shying away from dropping $20 and $50 in the communion basket during church, screaming at me for being too small to fit in my older brother's hand-me-downs when he was always tall for his age, while I've always been short. I told them no. My father seems to understand, but my mum's gone on a rampage. I've been getting calls from people in my old neighborhood that I haven't seen in years, talking down to me about my decision. My siblings have also been badgering me about it. So Reddit, am I the gay hole for not wanting to uproot my life and move 2 states away on my own dime, just to move back in with my parents? No, OP, definitely not. That's bloody ridiculous and so typical too. Like, oh, you don't have kids, so you don't have a life? Get the hell out of here with that crap. And your siblings that are badgering you, what, they don't have to do it, but you do? No way, you're not the a-hole, OP. And don't move back in with them. The top comment says, not the a-hole, live your own life. Tell each sibling who's badgering you, I'm pleased to hear you feel so strongly about this. Thank you for volunteering to move back to our parents' place. I'll let them know about your interest. I don't understand why you're sending your parents money, unless your siblings are also making matching donations. And OP said, as far as I know, they're not. They all have responsibilities and can't afford it. I don't send them money all the time, but I do when I can. Even that's frustrating. And that's not even to mention all the awful stuff that your mum said to you. Yeah, no, you're not the a-hole, OP. Let your mum have her rampage. You don't have to do anything. Post number 7. Am I the a-hole for telling my birth siblings I owe them no apology or expressions of regret for being adopted while they were kept? I, 29 male, was adopted out of foster care at the age of 4. I was first placed in foster care as an 11-week-old. My birth parents willingly surrendered me to the state, got me back, and then lost me to CPS within a few weeks of being returned to them. Their extended families were asked if they would like to raise me, and everybody on both sides who were contacted, and the list was extensive, said no. So I was placed back into foster care, and after 2 weeks of temporary placement, I found my parents. I was 11 months old at the time. My parents were the best parents anybody could ask for. I have 3 siblings from my parents. 2 were their biological kids, and 1 was also a kid they adopted from foster care. My family is very close today, and it includes a very large extended family, where my sister and I adopted from foster care were treated as their own, and no different than the blood grandkids. It was a very happy life. My birth parents went on to have 3 additional children who are now 22, 20, and 19. My birth siblings sought me out 2 years ago on social media and told me they wanted us to be a family. I expressed at the time that I had zero interest in this. A few months after, I got another DM from them, but this time with a Word document attached to it, and it contained a very heartfelt explanation of how they'd always been aware that I existed, and how their childhood had not been the best, but how they valued each other, and how they wanted me to be a part of their lives, and how they felt they were robbed of growing growing up together. I did not respond to this right away because it did read as something from the heart, but I didn't agree with them and I didn't feel robbed, so I didn't want to be a jerk. I told them I needed some time, and when I did respond, I told them I had a very happy life and a wonderful family and I was sorry to not share their sentiments. They asked if we could meet one time and I agreed, and it happened a couple of weeks ago. They were upset that my siblings were nearby for moral support, and they were upset that I didn't show up ready to hug and embrace them. They asked me how I could be happy being adopted and raised in another family when I had real blood siblings. They asked me how could I express joy because of my adoption knowing this. I explained again that my life was happy and I would not trade my family for the world, especially given their parents' treatment of me. They told me that I should want them and I should apologize for making it seem like I don't. I told them I owe them no apology or expression of regret for not being adopted while they were kept. Of course, this was not what they wanted to hear, and I left because they clearly wanted to argue after that. My siblings' parents as well as my wife were a wonderful support to me after this, but some fellow adoptee friends said that I was too harsh, and a few said most of us, adoptees, would love to have such easy access to our birth families, and I was rude to mine and I threw them away. Am I the yay-hole? No, you're not the yay-hole, OP, and you didn't throw them away. Everything you've said has been completely reasonable, OP, and yeah, you're happy and you have a good life. You don't need to apologize to them for anything. Yeah, the top comment, not the yay-hole. You did not throw anybody away. Your biological parents are the ones that bear the responsibility of you being adopted. They had to sign papers giving you up. They knew what they were doing. You owe them nothing. Just because they're biologically related doesn't mean a damn thing. Family is who treats you well because they choose to. Edit, the biological parents are wrong, not the siblings. And OP said they actually didn't sign papers to give me up. Their rights were removed for my safety. Yeah, ultimately, you're not the yay-hole, OP. And I feel like that's enough Am I the Yay-hole for today. Time to read something wholesome. How I assume my parents' divorce would be. I'm more important. I want full custody. No, see you in court. How it actually was. We may not love or even like each other anymore, but we still need to give our kid a happy childhood, meaning that we have to split time evenly and work together. Yeah, wow, I didn't expect to read that. But yeah, that's right. Shout out to them for working together, even when they probably didn't want to. I'm nearly crying that all of my family got to see that today. My grandpa is almost 90 years old, and for the first time in his life, he witnessed a total eclipse. My sister told me he just kept saying, "This is unbelievable." Oh, that's so cute. 90 years old, and that's the first time. That's so beautiful. How are you doing mentally? A little better. I ate lunch. Wow, that's so true. Food is so magical. I spend like half of my life thinking about food, and that's never gonna change. I don't know what I'd do if I lost you. Really? I know exactly what I'd do. What? Find you? Oh, cute. I love the dino comics. They're always so good. Thank you for making these dinos and comics. And on that beautiful note, that's enough for today. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you had a wonderful time. And if you did and you want to see more Am I the Yay-hole, make sure you like and subscribe. And the comment of the day today goes to Thing1G. Comment of the day, I'm healing from a major surgery. Meanwhile, I'm healing from the death of a major character in the book series I'm reading. Oh no, that's devastating. That's actually tragic, OP. I hope you're handling it okay. Like, I was so invested in this character and now they're gone? Come on. Okay, I'm out of here. Thank you for all the support, guys. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!